Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again to talk about another Commander Legends Battle for Baldur Gate Commander. This one I've been waiting a while for to appear because it's one of the cards that when we were doing the draft for the pre-release, one of our players in our pod had it and they basically dominated the entire board with it throughout the day. I wouldn't mind so much, but his deck wasn't even built around it. It wasn't the commander, if I remember correctly. So if the person knows who they are, if you're watching this and I've got it wrong, sorry, comment below, moan at me or when you see me next time, okay? But I quite like the look of this particular legendary card, but it's in a colour combination that I very rarely play. I'm never very confident with this colour combination, mainly because I'm impatient and I like playing creature decks and things that do things fast. Obviously, that probably gives you a hint because this set and this deck is all about blue-white kind of control. So, the legendary creature is Ojai, the Exquisite Blade. It's a 2 blue-white legendary human monk for a 2/3, and when it comes into play, you get to gain 2 life and scry 2. That bit's alright, nothing wrong with that. Next bit's really interesting. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Oh, that's quite interesting. And I've been trying to think of ways. I did start thinking, okay, I just need to play lots of instants. I need to play lots of sorceries that are really cheap. Then I realised it didn't say that. It said second spell. I was like, okay, I really need to learn to read the cards first before I start building. So I had to scrap the original deck I was building and go in some other direction. Obviously, I wanted creatures that come into play that have nice enters the battlefield effects, and I also wanted some way of exiling and bringing them in and out. And it was a little bit complicated, and I need to find a win condition really as well. Blue-white, lovely combination. The blue-white decks I see now mainly on Commander when I'm playing have green in them and use that as their win condition, whereas the blue-white supports it. So it's a little bit tricky. So I've had to put some interesting choices into this deck. I have started off with an interesting mana base. 10 islands, 10 plains, Castle Ardenvale, Class of Vantress, Command Tower, Fable Passage, Field of the Dead, which I think I say in every single deck I've done recently, Glacial Flood, Glacial Fortress, Obscura Storefront, Path of Ancestry, Port Town, Razor Ridge Bridge, Reliquary Towers in here because we are playing blue. There is card draw. Sky of the Clouds, Sky Bridge. So, yeah, the usual selection of dual lands with some lots of basics to back it all up. And then hopefully, we do get some value or Fields of the Dead at some stage. But it's kind of here where it gets interesting. Sorry, wasn't meant to flash up that yet, but never mind. What I looked at with some of the creatures, I'm just going to go through the creatures that I've kind of put in for now. So we've got Backup Agent, it comes into play, put some +1/+1 counters everywhere. Knight of the White Orchid, go and find a plains if we're behind on mana. Augrial, get to scry 3. Obviously these are all hoping we can have these out with OG out so we can exile them in and out. Omen Speaker does the same thing, goes in and out the battlefield and gets a scry. Inspiring Overseer, life card draw. Kinsblane Courier chucks some 1/1 counters around. Cloudkin Seer draws us cards. Frostlinks taps something down that the biggest threat our opponent has for a turn or two. Sailor Remains is in here because it gives us a treasure token. I thought that would be quite useful. Gives us an extra way of mana so we can cast this and still maybe cast a 1 costing spell so we can trigger OG if we've got her in play. Seagate Oracle, same idea. Look at the top 2, 1 in your hand, 1 on the bottom, so you're not milling them, so it's quite good. And Reflector Mage, yeah, bouncy. Sounded like a good plan to me. Solemn Sim, might as well get it in and get the extra mana going through. Archimancer brings back any instance of sorceries from our graveyard to our hand. Spark Double lets us copy any of our creatures, and if we decide we need to copy something else, we can bounce it in and bounce it out and bounce it in again with OG, or exile it and return it, I should say. I keep saying bounce, I don't mean bounce, sorry. So that's why that's in here. Alarin's Solemn Ritualist was from the original Commander Legends set. Comes into play, puts some +1/+1 counters on some creatures, and whenever a non-token creature does actually get killed, we might get a spirit out of it. So I thought it was worth trying out. Angel of Vengeance quite nice. The first time you can play it, you can have the servos to make some 2/2 servos. You can flick it in and out a few times to either make more servos, make it bigger, whatever you need at that stage. So I figured that was good. Mold Drifter, probably there for the evoke cost, but if we can get 5 mana and cast it, it becomes a nice little repeatable 2-card draw. Prosperous Pirates is going along the same idea as Sailor and Means for the treasure tokens. Cavalier of Gales. Again, get the card draw, put them on top. When it dies, we get to scry 2 and shuffle it in, so it's not the end of the world. Cloudbazer, gain 2, draw 2. Evangel of Heliod, we might have some permanents in play, we might get some extra soldiers out of it, but even if we don't, flickering it in and out is not the worst thing in the world. Same with Sanctuary Warden. And Azul's quite nice because it stops people casting instances of sorceries during that player's next turn. So if you can bounce it in and out or flick it in and out, it does kind of help. Agent of Treachery, we all know what Agent of Treachery does now. Flicking this in and out will probably make you the most unpopular person at your command table, but hey, that's what we're doing. Now, they were the kind of the creatures I went with. Then we got sort of like the basic things to keep things going. So Condemn, Lunarch Veterans in here to gain some life. Mardu War Reaper can also be flickered in and out to exile cards and gain life, so I forgot about that one. Path to Exile, get rid of the biggest thing. Soul Warden, gain life. Soul's Attendant, gain life. Swords to Plowshares. Exile, gain life. Brainstorm, Ponder, Pongify, Hybridization. Serum Visions, they're all there just to, we've got low casting cost cards that hopefully means we can get 2 spells off in a turn. I've put Cyclonic Rift in. Can bounce something that's annoying or just clear the board if we need to. Impassioned Orators there. I'm not sure this should be in the deck, but I figured we had the other ones in the gained life. We might as well have this one as well. Ojutai's Breath we'll come to in a minute. Right, Time Twister is in this deck. As I always say in my videos, when I've got a deck with Time Twister in it, if you haven't got it, don't worry about it. Take it out, put something else in. I just play this because I got one luckily on MTGO ages ago. They're very expensive in real life. MTGO, the price is starting to creep up, I've noticed recently. If you haven't got one on your MTGO collection, if you've got one in real life, I bow down to you. But don't worry about it, just take it out. I play Exquisite there and gives me a way to shuffle all my stuff back in. There are other effects, you can go and find them. Look them up on Scryfall or something, it's fine. Settle the Wreckages here, Shout the Skies here, so we've got a little bit of control. Starheim Unleashes here also for another reason, which I'm going to come to in a minute. No, not going to talk about them for a second, I'm just seeing if there's anything. Oh yeah. If you're exiling creature permanents or non-land permanents, it is usually Brago you'll see that these decks are built around. Yes, Brago is a lot stronger, it is good. However, I just added Brago in, so I had that little bit of backup. This is not the deck that is building around Brago. I may build a Brago deck in the future, but it will probably look very similar to this. But I'm trying to abuse OG's powers here. So Brago's here just to back up in case anything goes wrong. Okay, so don't panic. Right, Narset's here because I'll be coming to that in a second. We've got Teferi, Hero, Dominaria. They're in here. Might as well have them as well. Approach of the Second Sun as a second win condition if we need it. Right, so I keep bouncing over some of the cards, and you're probably wondering why. What OG really likes is when you cast your second spell each turn. That's not always the easy thing to do. I mean, you can see this deck. Yes, there's a lot of 1s and 2s and 3s, but there's quite a lot of 4, 5s and 6s and 7s. So I was trying to think of a way of doing this. And then I remembered a really nice little mechanic from a while back, which you can see on Narset. And I'll just make this slightly bigger for a second. -2, so Narset's 2 white and blue for a 6 loyalty Planeswalker. Look at the top card for +1. If it's non-land creature, you can put it in your hand. -2. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, it gains rebound. Anyone remember rebound? No. I thought some of you might. I expect some of you have done, just gone, oh, this guy's an idiot. But yeah, for those of you who don't remember rebound, it came on a series of spells, a bit like Profound Journey over here, where basically you cast it once, the card resolves, goes into exile, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if I remember correctly, yeah, upkeep, you get to cast it again for free. That's one of your 2 spells you need to cast that turn to trigger this. You've only got to cast one more spell and you haven't paid any mana for the first one. So I went through and found some of the blue-white rebound spells. Didn't own as many as I thought I did. There may be more. I haven't checked. I didn't bother. I just used what I had to try it out. So that gives us Blossoming Calm, which gives us a hexproof and rebounds for the next turn. It gives us, if I can find the other ones, I'm sure people can see them quicker than me. There you go. Ojutai's Breath. Tap down the most annoying creature an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during their untap step the next turn, and you get to replay at the beginning of your next upkeep, which is great. Blessed Reincarnation. Exile target creature an opponent controls. That player reveals the cards from the top of their library until a creature card is revealed. That player then puts that card on the battlefield and shuffles their library. Yeah, it's not great removal in blue, but it has got rebound, so it does help a little bit. And realistically, if it takes out the biggest threat one of your opponents has got and gives them something slightly less threat, you might be in a better position anyway. Sight Beyond Sight's in here. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your hand, one on the bottom of your library, rebound it. Gives you a bit of filtering, so it does help from that point of view. Don't forget, you're casting from exile, so they do go to your graveyard, so you do get to bring them back, if I remember correctly, with Archomancer. But again, my rule knowledge doesn't always work perfectly, so if I've got that wrong, please comment below and share with me down there. Void Scrolls here. It's 5 mana, sorcery bounce spell, which is a little bit expensive, but you do get to bounce 2 things for 5 mana over the course of 2 turns, so it's not the end of the world. Same with Ojutai's Summings. You get 2/2 Djinn monk creature with flying. It's 5 mana for 2 4/4s basically, so it's not great, but again it returns, gives you that extra bouncy second spell you may need. And that's really all I've put in at the moment. Yeah, they're the only ones that are in, but it's an interesting one. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it goes during the streams this week. So if you've got any comments, if you think I've missed something glaringly obvious with OG, please let me know. Comment below. Really love it if you hit that subscribe button. I've been sitting on 17 subscribers for a while now. Yeah, please make my life happy and let me get to 20. I'd really appreciate it if you can. But obviously, thank you for watching this. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Follow some of the links below in the description if you want to come and see me stream some of these decks. Take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye.